Okay, so we're going to talk about Cecil the lion, like everyone else has talked about, and I think it's important to have this conversation. So in case you don't know the backstory, and I'm sure most of you do, but let's just gloss over it. So the backstory is Walter Palmer, who was a dentist. He paid $55,000 to travel to Zimbabwe to kill this lion. Now, he hired 2 guides. The guides and him, what they did is they lured this lion outside of its protective sanctuary, okay? He also had a collar on the lion because the lion is undergoing some sort of research with Oxford University. They lured him out with bait. They shined a spotlight on him, okay? So he's eating, spotlight on him. Then this dentist shoots him with a bow and arrow. The lion is then wounded and leaves and is frantic for 3 days. Okay, hanging on to dear life, suffering. And then Walter comes with his 2 guides and he shoots the lion to death with a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, the lion then dies. He then decapitates the lion because that's his trophy. So again, this is trophy hunting. This isn't hunting for food, for survival, for conservation. This is hunting specifically so Walter can feel proud to display this lion head on his mantle. Now, really quickly, just to give you a little bit more context, the 2 guides, they were charged with illegal poaching. They were charged with poaching. They were arrested. They were in jail. They were bailed out on a $1,000 bond each. Since then, Walter Palmer has the shittiest apology, basically blaming it on the 2 guides when he has a history of illegal hunting. So I don't buy one bit of his apology. And then he also sent in, I think this morning, an apology to all his patients, again saying, I had no idea that this was a protected lion, And we can go into it more, but I want to gauge your guys' perspective on this. Clearly, it's, you know that I could get really emotional about this.
Let's talk about hunting. Now, if you have a trophy of a lion head, like, would you be proud to explain the process for getting this? Because, like, the whole hunting, like, hunters, I respect the ones. I don't know if anybody has watched. There's a show called Human Planet that's on Netflix. And it really outlines the remaining, like, hunting processes that are allowed still in certain places, like narwhal hunting, where they only let you do it the way they did it thousands of years ago in a kayak with, like, you know, a seal-skinned, like, buoy. Like, there's now... Are you trying to prove that we are more technologically advanced than animals?
Right.
Because, like, I think we all buy into that. Yeah. I don't think you need to go out and shoot it with a bow and arrow and a spotlight. Maybe if you covered yourself in mud to throw off the scent and you went out there with a bow and arrow and nothing else in an area where this is you're certain this is not going to negatively affect the population.
Right.
To get yourself in contact with, like, a more primal, you know, portion of the human experience, to respect how far you've come we've come as a society. But to put, like, dead bait on a Jeep and drive outside of a protected area.
Coward piece of shit. Go.
So we do a lot of weird things in the name of tradition, and hunting is one of those things that we just hold on to because it's been part of our tradition, part of our history. Even though we've reached a time where we don't need to do this anymore.
Right.
It shouldn't be allowed to be done.
Well, conservation hunting is a little bit different. I could never take the life of an animal at all. I do think it's a little bit more humane to kill a deer and eat the deer meat, or for instance, there's
I'm talking
too many
about
deer.
big game hunting.
You're talking about trophy hunting because I don't want the comment section to not know the difference between the 2.
Yeah, 100 years ago, people were doing this and it was okay. Our culture has just changed since then. And these people do is they hold on to tradition. Like, well, we've been doing this our whole lives. I was reading about something in Denmark recently. Like, Denmark's super progressive country. They have this one island where every year they do this thing called the hunt, where they trap a bunch of whales and they push them into a cove and they kill them, just murder them right in there. And
do they eat them?
I think they eat them. They don't need to eat them. They have other food, but they do it, and their defense is, we've been doing this for generations.
Or the seal hunt, the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm more okay with that. I say
it's not necessary.
It's not necessary though.
Well,
they're not starving. They're not starving.
Let me just say this.
They do it because it's tradition.
What are the other meats they're going to eat? Like, I would say I have a better argument against you saying that, like, What's it better to do? Eat all the chickens that are kept in a small,
Agree with you
dark
there, too.
area, pooping on each other?
Agree with you
I'm
there,
not
too.
I'm not gonna take the easy way out and become a vegan because that doesn't taste very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you don't kill whales. The
agree.
whales are they're mammals that are so intelligent. You don't need to eat a whale anymore.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
It's eating dolphins.
Let's stick to the matter at hand, though, because I want to talk about
yeah.
this man. I want to talk about how.
Well, beef is mammals. You know,
Listen,
the
rabbits
intelligence.
is
The
mammal. Like we eat those things.
I agree. Believe me, I agree with all of the above. I do. But to be so morally bankrupt to kill something for fun is something that I can never fathom.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine going out there for fun, killing this lion. Now, and I think people should know what's going to happen now.
Yeah, that's insane
More
to me.
than likely what's going to happen now, according to all these different wildlife experts, is now that Cecil is dead, he has a number of cubs. He has these, the lionesses, the mothers of the cubs. And what will happen now is the next lion in the hierarchy will come and kill off the cubs because the cubs are part of Cecil's bloodlines. Then the lionesses will most likely die defending their cubs. So sure, if that happens in the wild, that's part of the wild. But this now chain of events are going to happen because of this fucking prick.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't wish harm on him. I don't. I've seen a lot of those tweets and we'll get into that. But you are a piece of shit. Any person that can go out there and do this for fun, just to have a trophy, that says something
It's
about
insane.
your character. You're a psychopath.
We should make him eat it. Hashtag make him eat the lion.
I think they already left the carcass out there after they skinned it and
Yes,
beheaded it.
they did.
Here's the thing.
That's how they.
I'm still behind making him eat it.
Yeah.
Even if the meat is
rotting
rotten
flesh.
and
Yes.
disgusting, like
Yeah.
you need, if you're going to do this, there is no other, in my mind, no one has brought it up, understandable way to understand why he did this other than he's terrible.
Yes, and another argument that we need to debunk because a number of these big game hunters
Yeah.
who are extremely wealthy, why not pay that $55,000 to some philanthropic effort? Why not use that $55,000 and more? Because this guy has killed a rhino, he's killed a number of lions, he killed a bear, a black bear illegally.
Right.
He was sentenced and charged for that back in 2008.
The argument is we are these big game hunters. We pay $300,000 up to $300,000 is the biggest number that I've heard to hunt these animals, and that money goes toward conservation.
Yes.
The counter argument is why do you have to kill the animal in this situation? Like why can't we just give that money
to conservation?
There's this great game
Plus,
called
there's
Big
a lot
Game
of
Hunter. You
habitat
can play it
destruction,
in
too.
bars while you're drunk.
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
But killing-
and you shoot animals, and
can't
it's
even
just
do that.
pictures of animals.
I can't even do that, but that's a much better way.
Animals
But
live.
I'm glad
and you
that
can order a hamburger.
I'm glad you brought up the counter argument because the counter argument is not only are there statistics where they can look at the funding from, okay, yeah, let's say this hunter brings in $300,000 to this community, only 3 to 5%, according to these statistics, goes to that community as opposed to 10 to 15 times that number when you have like a safari that's viewing the live animals. So please, enough with that argument that it's somehow helping with conservation and the community. There's a much better way to raise money. Why don't you just give that $300,000 to the community?
Here's like a peripheral thing that blows my mind. And also, if you needed another reason to hate this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So in The Lion King.
Yes.
We learn now that if there's the alpha male in the group dies, then the new alpha kills all the cubs.
Yep. Get rid of the bloodline.
Which means the only cubs in a pride at any given time have the same father. Cut to Lion King. Simba and Nala are cubs at the same time, which means that Simba slept with his half-sister, Nala.
Yes, okay.
If this story wasn't in the news, I would never know that.
Yep. All right, so we've run out of time. We're actually going to continue this conversation. It's going to be another video. We're going to talk more about the outrage on social media and if it went too far. So stay tuned for that.